The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of Mage here at McStabber Studios. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. And I would like, before we get into it, to let our players introduce themselves. So please, let's go around the table.
So I am Rev Ben Powers. I will be playing Abram Proctor, a homeless transient here in Miami. That's all I'm going to say.
Good evening, folks. I am Phantom Trickster. I will be playing Devin Robinson, a private investigator in the town in Miami. That's it.
Hello, my name's Zeddy. I'll be playing Tam Castrogano, an engineer down in lovely Miami.
Good old Miami boy, because you went to the U of M. So, since this is Season 3, it's been some time since we started our adventure 2 seasons ago, back in the bombing of the 12th Night incident. But it is Friday, June 24th, 1988, and the muggy Miami summer is in full swing. The city is preparing for the 4th of July celebration on Miami Beach, and in the skyline, the Centrus Tower sits like a 47-story guardian of downtown. Its construction was finally completed late last year, and operations are in full swing. It has been featured in episodes of Miami Vice and can be seen in the final montage of the movie Flight of the Navigator, which is one of my favorite movies. While the top floors are still under construction in the movie, it is now fully complete. It is a beacon of industry, and it is no stranger to the vagrants that litter the downtown scene. In November of last year, the city was treated to a visit from Pope John Paul II, which helped shed some light into the darkness that was threatening to engulf the city. It has been 5 years since the 12th night bombing at the Biltmore. The historic building has undergone several changes and is looking to make a triumphant return to the Miami tourist map by opening its doors as a full-fledged hotel. It has been 5 years since the shattering of avatars at the epicenter of the bombing. Several wild mages have appeared and just as quickly disappeared. The one central node of the city has been dammed and its flow cut off from those not in the circle of one Edward Malcolm Gaines. The owner of the Biltmore has made more than a few waves by bringing in a trio of ladies to run his day-to-day operations. Among them, Samantha Bowers, who is a classically trained pianist with a penchant for business and is as cold as she is beautiful. She's currently in charge of a project to refurbish one of the side buildings on the property into a theatrical space. Allison Williams is a world-class martial artist that has helped start several small businesses, and though she wears a tough exterior, she is one of the friendliest of the bunch. And rounding out the trio is Tabitha Tammy Wylans, who is a renowned chef and curator of recipes that have brought success to every restaurant that she has touched. And she plans to make the Biltmore a culinary target for travelers of all monetary levels. And though The Golden Girls has begun airing, and it is movies like Scarface and shows like Miami Vice that have really brought Miami to the forefront of vacation spots. Miami Beach has seen its share of ugly recently, however. Escalation among the Russian mob, the Italian mafia, and the conglomeration of South American cartels all want a piece of what Miami Beach stands for, the party capital of the world. There are a handful of ways to get from the mainland to the beach. On the north end, you have the 922 and the 934 expressways, but those are past Little Haiti and deep into North Miami territory. The two main access points to the beach are I-195 and I-395, the latter of which becomes the famous A1A that runs from the southern tip to the northern edges of Dania Beach in the heart of Broward County. Here in the city that's making a name for itself on the world stage are a handful of people that have been brought together. For what and why will hopefully lead to aiding the city from drowning in the darkness of its own creation. Vampires roam unchecked in the nights and gladly use the street-level violence to hide their attacks. Werewolves fight to preserve the wilds of the Everglades, but anyone can tell you that that's a war that human greed will never lose. And here, our mages are thrust into the limelight of a city whose neon is already starting to fade. But that's a side of the attraction tourists don't get to see. And a one-man's city is another man's sacrifice. Much like Chuck Hume before him, we see Devin Thompson making a name for himself as a private detective. Work, as of late, has been a cavalcade of spurned lovers, trying to find out where and why their relationships have soured. But all the photos, as of late, have been marred. They've been touched by something paranormal, something nebulous and dark, black and cloudy, with hints of what could be a skull have been propping up in the pictures recently. Unlike the scamp that was Vasily Yadovich, we have Tom Castrogano, who went to high school and put himself through the prestigious University of Miami, an office man that is a far cry from the Cuban sandwich-eating manager of a bar. And yet, the limelight means more to both of them than they truly know. And both men are no strangers to death in any of its forms. And where one man has no fear of the old ever-looming monster, the other has been running from it his whole life. And thrown into the mix of it all, having been chosen by divinity itself, we find Abram Proctor. And the burden of his trials and tribulations, like the great carpenter before him, we find the woodworker among Six Flock, the homeless of the downtown. The higher power provides, and as its conduit, so too does he provide for the lost, for the hungry, and for the weary and sick. Man has earned a reputation as a good Samaritan, a kind shoulder, and a healer of the sick, But just as whispers can be carried on the wind, so too is this man, ephemeral and quixotic. One does not find him, but rather is found by him. For he is called when he is needed, and right now the city has a dire need. Not just him, but of anyone willing to brave the neon squall. We open to the sound of Miami sound machines. The rhythm is going to get you on the radio as we find ourselves on a typical Friday night in Miami. South Beach is popping. Cars are slowly making their way either up Collins or Ocean Drive. Ladies and gents are wearing next to nothing. And the music from the clubs seems to create these little biomes of cliques. Salseros intermingle with the hip-hoppers and the top 40s and the freestyle scene, which is taking off here in Miami. But for the dog whistles and barks of "Oye, mommy," we find our cast of characters. All of the preparations for Miami's 4th of July festival have been taking up the city's many angles. Let's start with Tom Castrogano. Where's Tom on Friday the 24th of June?
First off, I have to ask what time of day it is.
It is about 9 o'clock, 9 in the evening.
Oh, I'm sitting down in my comfortable chair, taking my slippers on, making sure my air conditioner's jacked up to at least 40 degrees, as cold as I can make it. Got my slippers on. I'm down to my undershirt, and I'm just relaxing, looking at the what programs are on the TV. Just trying to disengage from a week of complications.
Mm-hmm. It has been a definite grind of a week for you. Every project seems to have had something wrong with it. And without your approval, nothing can get through.
Very true. Very true.
You have a phone call. The phone rings.
I reach over and I pick up the phone. Howdy, what can I do for you?
There's a familiar, not Russian, but definitely European female voice. Mr. Tom,
Yes?
I would like to see you again. Please come down to the club.
All right. Yeah, I'll be down. I'll be there shortly.
Okay, good.
So I hang up the phone. I start getting dressed.
Mhm.
I put on something snazzy, a button up that isn't white. I decide to forego the tie this time and just put on a nice necklace, maybe leave the top button unbuttoned.
Okay.
I go down, flag a cab, and head over to the club.
The Limelight. It is a familiar setting for you. It is interesting to not be playing tonight.
I go in the club, I presume with no issues.
No, nobody stops you. Everybody knows you.
I go up to the bar first thing, of course. I got to get my beverage of choice.
Yeah.
Nice-
What is your
nice-
beverage choice?
Rum and Coke. Obviously, I got to get
Cool,
the pirate
Liberty.
on.
Yeah.
Get my pirate going.
So they serve you a little rum and Coke with a little slice of lime. You hear the not middle-aged, but definitely older than college age band that is starting to play. The drum kit has no crest for it, but it looks like there's a sheet that has been painted with the name high-R and then underneath it standards. So clearly the band is working on puns from the get. You know that this is probably Sasha's doing. He is the kind of person that would revel in this kind of comedy. Go ahead.
I just shake my head. Oh, if certain people just could see us right now, they'd not be happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they start to play what is a cover of a bad cover of David Lee Roth's California Girls. It sounds more like cats being strung up than anything else. And the only one that seems to be enjoying it is Sasha. He is standing by the office door. There's a sliver of light that shows that it is ajar, but not completely open. And he is just kind of bobbing and snapping his fingers, out of tune, completely out of tune, not in any way to the music. And behind him, you see the familiar face of Natasha, who goes over, delivers the drinks that she's been made to deliver, sees you, and comes rushing over to you.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, it is good to see you, Mr. Tom.
Yeah. Been a while. What you been up to?
You know, and she moves the tray away from her stomach and she shows you the bump that she has.
Oh man. Wow. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's yours.
Great. That's wow. Hey, wow. That's
You
man.
fix or we keep?
I don't know. You're gonna have to let me know on that one. We'll work with whatever your decision is, I guess.
Okay, we fix then.
Grandpa would be very disappointed in me if I get rid of this thing. This baby, that's for sure. Oh yeah, we'll make it work one way or the other.
She nods, and then you see her ask the bartender. She gives him a hand gesture, and he puts down 2 shots of vodka. She hands you one. She takes the one.
Grazie. Salute.
Prost.
Is the boss in by chance? He still owes me some money from that last show.
Sasha is here. He take care of business. I call him?
Yeah, could you please? Because they still owe me some money.
Yeah, okay. And she rushes over to Sasha. He is clearly upset that she is ruined his groove. But he comes over. Natasha say you not get paid. Is this true?
I got some of the money, but it seemed a little light on the door, man. What's going on with that?
You got paid then?
I got some money, yeah, but I don't think I got the full take on the door. By the way, what's going on with this band here?
Oh, it's good, right? Higher standards.
Yeah, somebody should tell them the snare shouldn't sound like a beach ball. It's got that dong dong going on every time he hits it. It's wild.
Oh, that's how people are playing music these days.
Yeah, but it's the kick drum, not the snare. The kick's supposed to go boom, not the snare. Ding.
Oh, I don't know music. I don't tell them how to do their job.
Fair enough. So what do you say, man? Am I gonna get that last spot or what?
I give you coupon instead. How's that? 2-for-1 coupons.
Sensing, of course, this is probably about as good as it's gonna get. Tom's like, yeah, okay, fine.
I mean, you could drill him for more. Vasily would have this would have been the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Sasha plays big like Vasily, but he's not Vasily.
I'm gonna, yeah, I think I know enough about this place that I know I should just take it and leave it, you know?
Okay.
So Tom's like, fine. Just remember me next time you got an open spot on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah, it's good. Bruno, 2, please. And he has the bartender give you another shot of vodka, and he clinks the glass to yours. And he takes it. I bring you coupons. You stay here.
Spasibo.
Yeah.
So I dump it down real quick. I notice it tastes a little more like water than I'd like.
Yep. It is definitely the cheaper shit.
Definitely from the local grocery store.
Yeah. It's not even well, it's well with well water. But he comes back.
Like yellow to it.
Yeah. Yeah. From all the lime juice they pour into it. He comes back, then he gives you about a dozen little what look to be homemade coupons that just have 2 for 1. They have his signature or Vasily's signature. He's like, here, I'll give you 12. This is good. Yeah, even dozen.
Tell you what, if I could get a couple extra people to come in, it sound like a good thing to you?
Yeah, always.
Okay, I'll definitely have to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy
all
the
right.
night.
Thank
see
you.
him
Thank you.
Go back to where he was standing, and he tries to find his rhythm again, which he has none. It is clear.
So I try to kind of hide in the shadow a little bit. Hopefully, I don't get noticed too much by this soon-to-be baby mama, and might kind of hide off a little bit and start working on my rum a little more.
Okay. All right. So you sit back, kind of try to enjoy the band as best as possible.
Cringing a bit.
Oh yeah. It is terrible. And once you see them kind of come to an end, some of the people are clapping. Sasha's definitely clapping, and you see the guitarist actually put out a violinist bow and start to play the guitar that way.
Oh, it is Jimmy Page. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, they are trying really hard to be avant-garde and cutting edge at the same time, and they are failing at both.
So I wave a server over here.
She comes over.
I say, here, take this coupon and get the singer whatever he wants to drink.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Make sure to give the coupon to the guy first, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And she makes her way over. She tells him something mid-song too, like he's in the middle of a verse, and she kind of like grabs his leg, pant leg, and he stops and kind of bends down and listens to her, and then she points in your direction. He gives you a thumbs up, and then just kind of fist pumps. So you imagine that you have won him over with your generosity.
I'm just waiting for him to go into Jenny. I know it's going to happen. They're going to do a Jenny cover or a My Sharona. It's going to happen.
It's going
like obligatory in this scene to do that.
Yeah. And as you patiently wait for whatever next butchering is about to happen, we'll hop over to Abram. Where is Abram at Friday around 9:00 in the evening?
So if it's Friday at 9:00, a few hours ago, Abram and a couple of the other people at the camp just finished putting up the Alvarez family's shack. Him and a couple other people kind of came together, scrap wood, built them a little home under the overpass. Her husband just lost his job. They didn't have a place to live, so they kind of ended up filtering down here with the rest of us. And so Abram basically had himself a little bit of a barn raising with some of the others that were there. They're sitting around a fire, just a little campfire. Everybody's sitting on plastic tubs and discarded car seats, and they're drinking out of like little like milk containers and whatever, but they all seem to be filled with beer, and they're cold. Everybody kind of wonders how we did that, but everybody's drinking cold beer around a fire and, laughing, telling stories. The family's got their house, and it's a good night. There's no mosquitoes this part of the little shanty town for some reason.
I wonder why.
And the whole time he's making sure his tools are, he doesn't have many possessions, but he's got a tool belt. Prominently featured is almost looks like a railroad spike, about yay long. rust covered towards the tip. Looks like it's made out of wrought iron, but he keeps it with the rest of his tools and makes sure it's all settled.
Yeah. You notice that there is among the people a face that you don't recognize. The gentleman seems to be about just north of 6 foot. Muscular build, looks to have played some kind of ball, either football or basketball. He is muscular and lean. There's something about him that he just keeps looking in your direction. You know that he's not part of the traditional kind of familia. And if you pull aside to kind of get a drink or something where you separate yourself, you'll see that he takes advantage and almost like a shark makes his way to you very poignantly.
So Abram more than likely has pulled out a can of cherry Coke, which is his own little reward that he gives himself after a day's hard labor.
Yeah.
He's just under 6 feet tall, kind of stocky, probably weighs around 200, 205. He's sweaty, just caked in it from working in the hot sun all day. Ripped white t-shirt, stained with sweat and dirt, pair of jeans, boots. There's a flannel over on the old lawn chair that he was sitting at. When he see the other thing is he gives off an almost palpable aura of there's just something there. He's trustworthy. You see this person and you're kind of drawn to them, and it's almost innate feeling you can trust them.
Yeah.
Sanctity for those who merit purposes.
Yeah.
So he sees the person and offers him, a smile. Do you want a Coke or a beer?
Neither. Actually, I'm here to talk to you if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all, friend.
Yeah, a lot of people say that you're a saint around here.
I've heard that. I'm not a saint. Just a carpenter.
I'm not from around here. I'm further out, more east, more west coast than anything else. But business brought me out here, and I could use someone like you, sir, if I may.
Someone like me. I help out in soup kitchens. I fix things. I don't really know what you would want with me. Moreover, I don't really know what you could offer. I mean, I've got everything I need right here. And friend, I didn't get your name. I'm sorry. Abram Proctor. He extends his hand.
Yeah, and you see that as he extends his hand out to you, his fingers seem to almost coalesce into like a 3-fingered hand that looks to be this very sandpapery textured, very clawed, like almost like a Bowie knife of a claw in each finger. And he shakes your hand. My name is Dante Rearding.
He kind of smiles and looks down. Fitting name by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a walk, Mr. Rearding?
Yeah, I like that. And as he pulls his hand away, which feels like shark skin to you, you see that you don't know if it was your eyes playing tricks on you or whatever, but his fingers are all there, all 5 of them.
So he throws his tool belt over his shoulder, grabs his Coke, looks back at the others and offers a quick wave. Folks, I'll be back soon. Mr. Reardon and I are just going to go have a little bit of a chin wag. Be about, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe more of like half an hour.
Maybe half an hour. If I'm not back in an hour, though, call the police. And everybody chuckles.
laughs. Yeah, everybody laughs. But he takes you aside to one of the bigger fountains in the downtown area, and he sits down.
So how can I help you, Mr. Reardon?
Mr. Proctor, what do you know about the Pentex Corporation?
I don't know anything about the Pentex Corporation other than that they make toys, soda. They're all over the place.
Yeah, everywhere, honestly. They've recently come here to Miami, and they're making waves in a very not pleasant way.
That's a shame. I'm sure someone could go to the reporters, or again, I don't know what you are visiting me for, sir. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have I'm not on the board of directors. I mean, like I said, you're welcome to a beer or a soda and sit for a spell, but I don't know what you're doing here.
Yeah, he's like, with all due respect, sir, I don't need a lawyer or a reporter. I need someone with your abilities. See, me and my friends, we have a keen sense of smell.
Your friends also got 3 fingers and scales?
Some of them do, yeah.
You know, a superstitious man might say that you might be a demon.
My friend, we are not demons. The things that are threatening to come up from Pentex could be demons, however.
Oh. Like I said, I don't know anything about him. And as he's saying this, he's kind of adjusting his tool belt, and his hand brushes across the nail.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a quick prime sight on him.
Okay.
See what I'm looking at.
Excuse me. So you're gonna roll your arete.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a combo effect, prime and life.
Okay.
Get as much information as I can.
Yeah.
And
You have
unique
wanna-
foci.
yeah. Do you want to go off of life more or prime more?
Prime. Spiritual stuff.
Okay.
Essences, definitely prime.
Okay. So I don't think you need all 3 points of life, so it'll be at the highest is level 2. It's a little vulgar, but also like there's nobody around.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes aren't glowing really or anything. It's just looking at him.
Yeah.
I'm not really doing anything too spectacular.
Yeah. We'll say it's difficulty 6.
Okay. All right, so that would be 1 success, 10 on the die.
Okay. You
Wow, this not having self-confident thing is definitely a change.
right? You take a look at him. You blink a couple times as your hand comes up and just dances along the edge of the railroad spike of a nail that you have. And you can see the outline of him as a human, but you also see the outline of him as this monstrous creature that looks to be easily almost 9 feet tall, like he towers over you. It's a mixture of half man, half shark. And you also see what looks to be the outline of a mako shark. Like all 3 outlines exist in the same person.
Well, Mr. Rearding, certainly are an interesting fellow. So, if this situation, if I say no to this, how much trouble are you and I going to have?
I mean, you and I won't have any trouble, sir, but I would recommend you not going to the beach anytime soon.
Well, Given what I'm seeing, I could see you might be an expert on the beach.
Nods.
Is that a threat to the people that are out there?
We're not monsters, Mr. Proctor. I'm not threatening anyone. Pentex, you won't get the same response from.
So you're telling me that a corporation that produces baby food is more of a threat to the people at the beach than someone like yourself?
Correct.
All right.
I would have gone to the Lupines, but we and them have bad blood.
The who?
The Lupines, the werewolves.
Werewolves? I didn't know those were a thing, but I guess I can't be surprised. Seen all sorts of weird stuff down here.
Mm-hmm.
Getting all sorts of education tonight. What assurances do I have that you're telling the truth, Mr. Reardon?
You can go check for yourself. There's a pipeline that comes out just south of Nikki Beach, around South Point Pier. It's been hidden. A lot of pains have been taken to kind of make sure that nobody knows the pipeline ends out there.
Well, I'm going to just roll straight empathy. See if I can get a feeling whether he's telling the truth or not.
All right.
I'm not using spheres, just good old-fashioned attributes.
Yeah. Let's add perception to that.
Okay. I do not have a great perception, but my empathy is pretty good. I'm assuming my specialty in trustworthy doesn't count for empathy. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. Very nice. It feels like he's hiding something from you, but it's not anything to do with the pipeline or Pentex. Looks like he's keeping something to the chest, something close to the chest, but he's definitely on the up and up as far as how he feels about Pentex and whether or not this pipeline actually exists.
Mr. Reardon, I think you're telling the truth as far as this pipeline and the effect it might be having. I don't know anything about it. I'm happy to look into it, especially if it's going to cause some problems here for my friends.
Sure might.
But my ex-wife will tell you any great relationship starts with trust, and I need you to be completely open with me. I need to know more of your motivations and why you're doing this beyond that. You're keeping something back, and I don't work with people that I don't completely trust.
Understand. A mate of mine has been taken hostage by the Pentex Corporation. So it's a little bit more personal than just caring about the oceans being safe.
You could have just led with that.
A lot of people don't care for other people's mates, Mr. Proctor.
I don't know why. I think that if more people did, we wouldn't have half the problems that we have. But you just came to me asking for my help. And you told me why originally. I think that you and I would have gotten off on a better foot. But
Wow.
Appreciate your honesty. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm not the only person you've managed to track down, which, by the way, is pretty impressive.
You are the
Most
first.
people that come looking for me don't seem to find me.
We have our own gifts that we are blessed with, sir.
Oh, I'm not blessed with anything. I'm just a carpenter.
My nose says differently, but you are the first that I've contacted. I'm gonna make my way further inland and see if I can sense out any more of your kind.
I'll tell you what. I got to get back to my party over there. Tomorrow I'm going to be helping out at St. John's, but if you want, you can come back tomorrow right around 8:00. I'm not going to skimp out on my volunteer work, but I don't mind helping you out.
All right. I
And
appreciate
he
it, Mr. Proctor.
he offers his hand to shake.
Yeah, he shakes it normally.
Yep.
I appreciate that. I've taken
Take it
enough of
easy
your
now.
time. I'm going to go further inland, and you see him kind of dip one of his hands into the water and just let it sit there for a moment.
All
Takes it
things
out.
being equal, I'm pretty glad we didn't have to tussle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It would have been bad for you.
Absolutely. You look like look like I could have been in some trouble.
Yeah. It's all
You
right.
take care.
You
And
too.
he walks back to the firelight and the beer.
Yeah. And you see that he just starts to walk towards what looks to be the on-ramp to the 195. And he's just going to walk straight into the city.
Unrelated to any of this, Will, I want to thank you for that amazing character intro. Way to build me up higher than I could possibly roleplay.
Welcome. As you make your way back to your cavalcade of homeless, we'll switch over to Devin Robinson. Where is Devin Robinson on Friday evening around 9 p.m.?
Coming around 9 p.m. on a Miami Friday would be wrapping things up at his office. It was getting ready to head out to his port, his 1987 Porsche 911.
Okay. All right. And where are you heading off to?
He was heading to get a bite to eat and then go home for the night.
Okay. You looking for fast food or you looking for sit down?
Looking for a sit down.
All right. So you'll find your way to one of the restaurants just on Biscayne Boulevard, not too far from the Limelight itself. And you notice that there's a lot of hubbub going on about the Omni Center right now. People are protesting something. And it's blocked off a little bit of the traffic. It's down to one lane in both directions instead of the usual two. But you manage to get to the restaurant. It overlooks the bay, much like you're used to. The waitress comes over. The host comes over. Is it just you, sir? Or would you like a...
It's just me tonight.
Shall we sit you at the bar then, or would you like a small table?
Small table will be nice, thank you.
Of course. And they take you over to a small table. It is closer to the entrance than anything else. There's a little window that looks out to the parking lot. And in the distance, you can see that a helicopter has kind of come in and shone some light on the situation. You can't make out the signs, but there's just, that there's like at least a good 100, 200 people just standing outside the Omni Center protesting something. Like they are up in arms about something. The waitress comes over. What would you like to eat, sir? To start, would you off with anything small, or are you going straight for?
Give me something small.
Very well. And she suggests one of the smaller dishes, a side salad. help out. Would you be drinking wine, Sarah, or something else?
Yeah, give me a glass of water. I'm driving.
Of course. And she takes off, comes back with a glass of water, a small little carafe of water that looks to be just perspiring from the amount of time from the little bit of time that it's taken to go from the bar to your table in the Miami kind of humidity. But yeah, it is noisy. The cars are honking at each other, trying to get the traffic to move faster. The helicopter is just taking up, going back and forth, patrolling the street, and just always shining on the demonstrators. And excuse me, you can see the blue and reds of just a couple of cop cars that have been there struggling to keep order. And in the distance, you can see what looks to be more police officers coming in to help out. Is this something that he would have looked into, or is this something that you think is new to?
He would have looked into it a little bit after he had dinner, if there is any demonstrator still by.
Yeah. So you eat your dinner, you go out, you start to walk towards the Omni Center, and you can see signs of people that have come up to protest the Pentex Corporation. Apparently, they have come to Miami, and they are planning to remodel parts of South Beach.
Pentex. You don't need to come down here, especially if you're making baby food.
Yeah. But one of the protesters, you see that they get a little bit too close to the police officer. They kind of use their sign to kind of push the police officer away from them, and then you just see the police officer just retaliate in the most violent form that he knows, and people just start to scatter.
Well, that ended quickly.
Yeah.
And he turns around to leave to avoid being included in the part of the demonstration. So he walks back to his car, he gets in, and he drives on to his house.
All right. As you're pulling out of the parking lot, one of the demonstrators just kind of runs out into traffic, causes another car to swerve to not hit them, but they do end up coming into contact with you, and they just hit you at an angle that just clips your entire passenger side.
Oh man, yeah, but now I gotta go get my car fixed.
Yeah. And as you get up and out of the car, you close the door to the driver's side. You can see the person in the other car just kind of trying to get their bearings. In your reflection, you start to see that nebulous form. There's just something dark, something black, pitch dark. And then you can just see the kind of not like the kind of atolls that just come up, two little atolls that are symmetrically attached to each other that just form the eye sockets of a skull. And then it just turns in the direction of the street and starts to vanish from your reflection.
I blink and rub my eyes for a minute. I'm either seeing things or I really need to get some sleep. So I walk over to the other car that hit mine, and I go check the passenger, see if the passenger is okay, the driver's okay.
The driver starts to kind of roll down its window, and as it looks up at you, you see that he has this face of just pure fear come over him, and then his eyes glaze over and he just collapses onto his windshield, onto the steering wheel rather. You can hear just the horn start blaring.
Oh boy. Of course. Are there any police around?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
trying to keep order. Some of them are chasing people. Some of them are just kind of like yelling at them to calm down and to think about things carefully.
So I'm waving like two of them over.
One of them comes over. Yeah. What's going on? What's wrong with this person?
I don't know. He looked at me in fear, eyes glazed over, and then he slumped over the wheel.
And you see that he reaches in through a little crack of the open window, puts his hand on the guy's neck, trying to find a pulse. And he looks up at you. He's like, "This man's dead. Did you kill him?"
I didn't touch him.
And you can see that his hand is slowly going down towards his gun.
Hey, easy. I was in the diner, eating my food, eating my dinner. They can vouch for me. I went over to see what the demonstration was about. I walk, and then that's when the incident happened, when the protester hit one of your fine fellow police officers with the sign. And then the attack happened, and then I walked back to my car because I was about to leave and go home. I get in my car, I start my engine. One of the protesters ran out in the middle of the street, caused that car to swerve and hit and cut my passenger side. I got out my car to go check on the passenger, and that's when he looked at me in abject fear, like something really spooked him, and then his eyes glazed over and he hunched over the wheel. I did not touch him. That's when I flagged you guys over.
All right, I'm gonna need you to stand right where you are, sir. And you see him grab the radio off his belt. I need assistance over by the diner. I need paramedics. We have a man down. And as he's trying to put his radio back on his belt, you see that he's trying to make sense of the situation. He's got his. It's almost like he's looking for a reason to draw on you. And it's not
giving him no reason.
Yeah, it's not unusual. This is Miami. Cops are a little better than bullies in this time period, especially with the big ego that Miami Vice has given everybody. But there is a moment where, again, you see just that he opens the door to this other car that hit you. The half lowered driver's side window catches the top of your head in the reflection. And again, you see this dark, nebulous cloud just a little bit behind you. And you see that skeletal face kind of start to come closer.
I slowly turn, not to draw attention to myself, to see if I can catch this thing, my own eyes.
There's nothing there.
And I mumble under my breath, "What the hell was that?"
The only thing that you can see over your shoulder is the neon sign of the bar down the street called the Limelight.
That's weird. He said that under his breath. Hey, let's see, officer. Once you guys are done, is it okay for me to go home, or do I need to call a tow truck for my car?
He helps the paramedics with the guy. He looks at your car. I mean, I wouldn't drive it in that condition if I were you, but if you can get it started and out of here, yeah, I'd find my way home if I were you.
I was planning on going home anyway before this happened.
Oh,
So he walks back to his car and he gets in and he starts the engine.
does not turn over.
Boy, looks like I'm hell in a cab. So he grabs all his registration, his insurance
Hmm.
out of the glove box, and then he goes to his car. He gets out and he goes swipes down the taxi.
Okay. It's gonna take a while with all the traffic and everything. So while you're looking for a taxi, we hop back over to Tom. The group is now trying to do a. It's been a rough night for you. I'm going to be honest. There's no easy way to say this, but the group is now trying to do a cover of Fleetwood Mac's "Big Love," and again, it is not pleasant. The only one who really seems to be enjoying themselves is Sasha. Sasha's just bouncing up and down, snapping his fingers back and forth. People are leaving the club. That's how bad it is.
I mutter under my breath. Of all the time my luck usually goes bad, why can't just the power go out on their amplifier right now? I mean, come on. Give me a little bit of a break here.
Yeah.
I just shrug my head, though, knowing that's not how my luck works. And I go back to my drink and go, this is horrible.
Yeah,
This
you're
is-
on your third drink. It has been rough.
Thankfully, I know they watered stuff down, so I'm not drunk yet.
Yeah. And every so often, Sasha will kind of like look over at your direction, give you a thumbs up.
Thinking to myself, do I dare eat one of these sandwiches that Sasha makes over here? I don't remember if they passed their health inspection. Surely they had to have. I wave over to the server. Hey, come over here.
He comes over.
Can I get one of those Cuban sandwiches they're always talking about here?
Yeah. Which one would you like? The pork one or the steak one?
I think I'm gonna go with the steak because it's hard to screw that up.
Yeah. It is Sasha's favorite.
Can you put some hot peppers on it for me though?
I don't think we have hot peppers.
Oh, how you don't have any pepperoncinis or anything?
What is a peppercini?
Oh, no hot peppers, nothing. All right, I'll take it as is. Just hook me up, okay?
Oh, okay.
So
And she takes off.
no hot peppers. Can you believe this? What's next? I bet you any minute now they're probably going to go into some ridiculous UB40 kind of thing. I bet.
You will it into existence. It might happen.
Rats in the kitchen. I bet.
No, they got to go with red wine.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it does feel like a thing right now.
Yeah.
So I go back to drinking take the little plastic straw and I'm stirring it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if they have some paper umbrellas in this thing too.
But you see the door to the club opens. There's this large monster of a man, completely out of place here. Everybody in the club, and the Limelight is not a racist organization by any way, shape, or form, but it has a clientele that is predominantly white. This gentleman sticks out because of his black skin. It is like coal, like a moonless night, and he has just this short cropped hair. He is just north of 6 foot, but he feels like he's coming in here with an 8 foot tall attitude, and he's just kind of standing in the doorway. It looks like the bouncer is standing behind him, holding his face like he got punched, and he's just kind of sniffing around. And after a moment, he looks in your direction and starts walking towards your table.
I notice him coming this way, so I wave him over. Come here.
He stops, tilts his head confused, and you see that this has knocked off a few feet of his bravado, and he kind of comes over and he sits down across from you.
I went to UM. I know a few things. I've met a few guys with some bravado.
Yeah. Yep.
Say, how you doing?
He looks at you. You got a scent to you, sir. And he extends his hand out.
That's what happens when you wear a tie all day long. I reach his hand, I shake it.
Yeah, my name is Dante Rearding.
Ah, interesting name.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, is his handshake a little flappy, a little wet?
No.
Good handshake, man. Good handshake.
It is strong. Like he is unnaturally
Nice.
strong.
Very nice. This is a good guy. I like this guy.
I sniffed you out, and I hope that you don't mind that I use those terms, but they're the easiest to use. I'm looking for people to help.
I had family. I'm used to weird stuff like that.
Oh, you ain't seen weird like this, mister.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've seen a few things.
He looks at you, he's like, what do you know about Pentex?
If I understand correctly, if you put the right differential across it, it explodes.
I don't know what that means.
It's a plastic explosive, right?
Oh, no, it's a company.
Oh, I don't know anything about a Pentex. Not a company named Pentex.
All right. They're bad people. And I'm part of a group that tries to stop these people.
Okay.
I would like your help in trying to stop them from doing something bad here in the city.
How would you like me to help them? I mean, I am an engineer. I mean, do you want me to condemn their building? What are you trying? What's your goal here?
I would like your help destroying one of the pipelines they got going out to South Point Park over in South Beach.
That's going to require some extra skill because I don't want to lose my license.
Oh, this is not going to be daytime work, if you catch my meaning.
Oh,
So-
okay. That's fine. So maybe we can get some extra help then because that's a lot for me to do by myself.
I'm in the process of acquiring help.
How big is this pipeline? What's the diameter?
Oh, I haven't seen it in person. I just know it's there.
You know the materials or what they're piping it with? I mean, is it oil? Is it sludge? Is it? I don't know. What is it?
It's something worse, sir, to be frank.
Gotcha. Toxic waste. Understood.
You could say that, sure.
Wouldn't surprise me. I've seen some weird stuff.
Not like this.
Have you seen the water in Okeechobee?
No, I haven't been that far north.
Yeah. You see people drinking well water that's yellow. You know you got a problem.
That is disgusting.
That's Okeechobee for you, man. So, anyways, so you got some heavy hitters to help us, or am I just sitting out there with like a baseball bat? What you thinking?
I'm working on it. I managed to get the Saint of Downtown so far. You were the next one I sniffed out. I can smell one more not too far from here.
You got that Jesus dude to help you?
I mean, if that's what you want to call him.
That's what isn't that what they were saying? Like, I don't know. I haven't seen him. It's just you hear stuff.
Right.
Wild. Anyone else? I mean, two guys. I mean,
I smelled someone not too far from here, but you were closer. from the direction I was coming in.
So you're expecting some wet work then, it sounds like.
You could say that. That's very appropriate.
Okay. I'm definitely willing to dive into some stuff, if you will. Yeah. What's in it for me? Out of curiosity, because apparently I got a baby to pay for.
Oh, well, I'm not good with small children, but I can.
I
can
wasn't
talk.
asking you to take care of them. I mean,
Good.
yeah.
I was in the same place.
Some coin, you know.
Well, I can't offer you much, but I can tell you that my group and I would be willing to give you access to South Point Park whenever you wanted it. I know it's been a place of use to you in the past, your people in the past.
I don't remember there being a lot of Italians in that neighborhood, but okay. Sounds reasonable. I mean, so you want me to go smack a few things and you're going to give me access to a playground. Okay. I can do this.
He smiled. He's like, it sounds much simpler when you say it.
Oh, nothing's ever simple.
You are.
I'll be
correct.
lucky. I'll be lucky if my sandwich comes in as actually a sandwich and it's not half eaten by the time it gets here.
And
Speaking of which, did you want anything?
no. I'm all
I can
right.
offer you. I can offer you some. What's your drink? You got it. There's got to be something you like.
No,
you-
I'm all right.
It's a hospitality thing, man. I got to do something about it.
And she comes over, she puts down the sandwich. He smells it, and he's just like, "That doesn't smell like steak."
You got a seafood dish or something, like a shrimp scampi or something we can hook this fella up with. He looks like a seafood guy to me.
She looks at you. She's like, no, Mr. Vasily, he don't like seafood.
Tuna?
No, he hate tuna.
Hey, unbelievable. What's next? I just shake my head. I look down at the sandwich and I said, "That is some. What do you use? Steakums? What is this?"
It is normally a banco bite is this beautiful Cuban bread that has been cut in half. It has been buttered, put on a toaster, and then there's just this palomilla steak that is cooked, put on the bottom. It has the little like French fries in a can that's thrown on top of there. Lettuce, tomatoes, mustard, and some people love pickles in their pan con pite. I hate pickles, so I'm not about that life. But there's a big pickle. The pickle is bigger than everything else that's part of the sandwich that she's giving you.
I see. So they're definitely wanting some salt, some brine. I look at my guest and I say, "You like brine? I got this big pickle here. Something might be interesting." I mean, come on, man.
I appreciate
Don't leave me
it, but,
hanging here. I gotta do something to help you out here.
my leaving is my leaving is the most help that you've given me, because whatever they're playing is not music.
Tell me about it. Any minute now, they're gonna be like, "Don't Stop Believing" or some crazy Journey kind of thing.
Oh, I hope they don't play anything by Steve Perry.
Tell me about it. They're gonna butcher it so bad. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna circle back around from bad into good. It's like Plan 9. It's gonna be bad.
I don't think that's possible.
Oh, like I said, I've seen a few things, man. They might even jump straight to mariachi. Who knows? All
That
right,
might be better.
So where you want me to meet you? What's you some details, man? Details.
I'm meeting the carpenter tomorrow at 9 by the underpass.
Under the bridge downtown, or is that literally what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Any specific bridge downtown?
One right by the 195.
There's not going to be any weird stuff going on. Nobody eating faces or anything stupid, right?
Well, we never know what the night will get us up to. So
I mean, it's Miami. Anything can happen in this town.
Right.
I swear the sign said it happens here when I came by.
Yeah. Depends on which entrance you came from.
Well, I came from up north, so yeah. After you leave Alligator Alley, it just gets crazier from there.
I mean, you don't know the half of it.
I guess you never. I did go to college here. Be surprised what I've seen.
I mean, I've been to Alligator Alley once, and it lives up to its name, sir.
Yeah, well, where I'm from, they're in the backyard. If they're not munching on cows. So, anywho, so you're saying under the bridge, I go. You want me there? What 8?
8 or 9, sure.
Do I need to bring bells or anything fancy?
Nah.
I mean, I don't have access to any guns or any tools like that.
I don't think we'll need them. I'll be there to help out.
You're gonna bring some muscle too?
And you just see him kind of flex his arm as he points back at the bouncer who's still rubbing his face. I got some muscle.
I see. So you're a little more of the lineman and less of a defensive end. Gotcha.
Yeah, you could say that.
I catch what you're pitching. I understand. Okay.
Yeah, he slams his hand on the table, gets up. He's like, "You enjoy whatever they're passing off as steak for you."
Yeah, I hope it's not mouse, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I will see you tomorrow, sir. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you, man.
He starts to walk out. You've never seen the bartender, the bouncers here flinch for anybody. But the second he walks over, he winces and steps away.
So I attempt to grab this sandwich with both hands to take a bite, knowing it's that uber crispy bread. And I can't quite get my mouth open big enough to eat it.
Yep.
And I just shake my head and set it back down, looking for something to cut it with.
You hear the band go into a terrible, like, the only reason you know it's Bon Jovi's "You Give Love a Bad Name" is because of how it starts, with him just screaming out through the heart, and you're to blame. And then the lead singer literally kicks the guitarist in the balls.
Yeah, I probably am to blame. Everything just goes south around me. What can I say?
And as you have to deal with that, we hop back over to Devin real quick. And we see coming towards you from the side of the street where you saw the limelight over your shoulder. You see the same thing. This large man is just heading towards you in particular. And as a cab finally is about to pull up, you see that he steps up onto the sidewalk with you. Can I talk to you for a moment, sir?
Make it fast. My cab's coming.
Oh, I can ride with you if you'd like.
I'm sure. I was just going to my house.
Oh, that's fine. Your house is fine. I don't mean to impose myself upon you, but I've been sniffing out your kind of people.
What do you mean by my kind of people?
I mean, special people, sir. See, I'm not like you, but I'm a little bit like you in that I don't belong with the rest of them. And he kind of points to the crowd that's still there.
So what, you got a case for me? Or you need me for something?
I mean, it could be that, yeah. What do you know about the Pentex Corporation, sir?
Oh, well, besides the fact that they make baby food and they're trying to tear down the Omni Center, and I point to the Omni Center across the street where the protesters are.
Yeah, they're trying to get a home base here in South Florida, and they have a building not too far from South Beach. I don't know how familiar you are, sir, with the area, but just south of Alton, where South Point Park is. There's a building that's threatening to really ruin the beach and the channel there, and I could really use people of your caliber to help end things in a permanent state down there, if you know what I'm saying.
Why don't you just give me the real details instead of the cloak and dagger? Just tell me what you really need from.
They got a pipeline that's pumping some dangerous stuff into the water, and me and my people, we don't much appreciate them being there. So we'd like to put a stop to that.
Sure. I mean, it's not like they're holding somebody hostage.
No, not at all. We just.
I want to roll entropy to sense flaws, just in case you see if he's lying to me.
Okay. What level is your entropy?
Two dots. I'm using sense flaws.
Okay. So roll your arete. It's gonna be not really vulgar, so we'll say it's gonna start at difficulty 5.
So I'm gonna dive my arete and 2 for my entropy.
No, just arete.
Okay. All right. Do I need 1 die for that or 3?
3. Your arete is a 3 from what I'm looking at the character sheet here on Roll20.
Yeah. I got a 7 and 2 10s.
Okay. There's something that he's keeping hidden. Something he's being honest about the pipeline, he's being honest about Pentex, but there's something that he's not being honest about with you.
I'll help you, but I really don't. I'll help you. I mean, knowing what Pentex is up to.
Sure. My group and I are prepared to let you have access, you and the rest of the people that are helping us, to have access to South Point Park. We know that that's a kind of place that your people would use for whatever you use it for. It's been a protectorate of ours for some time, so I hope you understand what this means, that we're giving up. We're willing to share our territory.
I appreciate you doing that. And what time did you want me to meet with you and the rest of your group?
It has been set down that tomorrow evening around 9 o'clock, 8 or 9, just on the underside of the overpass that leads to the beach, over right on the downtown exit of 195. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's why I know where that is.
All right. And you see that the cab pulls up. He opens the door for you. He's like, "It was nice meeting you, sir, and I hope to see you tomorrow evening."
And it's a pleasure meeting you too. And I will get in the cab, give my address, close the door, and then let the cab take me home.
Okay. And as everybody is making plans for the rest of the evening, and we're gonna hop over to the next evening, I think this is a good time to take our break. So if everybody would just keep tight, we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll continue with the second half of episode 1 as everybody comes together.
See you in 10.
And welcome back, everybody. Before we went to break, we kind of give you the backdrop of where we are in Miami in 1988. We got to hear some names that might or might not come up later on. We got to meet our three cast of characters, Devin, Tom, and Abram. We got to meet a couple of interesting NPCs, including Sasha, who runs the Limelight, one of his waitresses named Natasha. And we got to meet Dante Rearding, who has been trying to put together a group of special people. His words, not mine. His words are mine. But he's been gathering a group of special people to help him get rid of a pipeline that Pentex has snuck into the South Beach area and that are pumping something gross into the water out by Malloy Channel and the government cut and out into what is the Atlantic Ocean. So we're going to move on to the next day. Certain roles have been made off camera to kind of not slog the stream, but we are going to handle Tom's call to his mentor. And that'll be Brandon Calver. Professor Brandon Calver over at UM. Is this one of your engineering teachers? Is this one of the random science teachers? Who is Brandon Calver to you?
Actually, Brendan Calver would have been a professor of one of the art courses that I would have had to take as an elective, a humanities course, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's how I got exposed to ritual magic and such.
Okay.
He's a fellow mage.
Yep.
And he introduced me to what I really am.
Okay.
So I ring him up.
Yeah. And you hear the loud Bob Marley in the background. You can hear just the intake as he answers the phone mid-toke, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, who's this?"
Hey, it's Tom.
"Hey, Tommy.
Sounds like you're having some fun."
Just trying to get into the right mindset. There's a lot of shit going down.
So I came across something in my investigations that I'm gonna have some work on, and I thought I should ask you what it is. I don't know what it is yet.
All right, yeah. Hold on. Okay, hit me with it.
Oh, you may want to exhale first.
No. This is when the magic happens.
Okay, Pentex. You know them?
He starts to cough as he lets go.
I told you should exhale first. Nobody ever listens to me.
Oh, you're a dick. Why would you bring up Pentex?
Well, I've been asked to do a little night work, if you will.
Oh man, by who?
We'll leave them unnamed right now. It's sometimes it's better you don't know.
All right.
What am I getting myself into? Is this something I might not survive?
Well, Pentex is a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, I get that. It looks like they got some government and some dark ops kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, they're all up. They're all up in the dark cookie jar.
Yeah, they've got some fringe stuff fringe science going on.
They are.
Am I looking at techno mages? What's going on?
No. You'd be lucky to deal with techno mages. Like, they're not technocrats in any way, shape, or form.
So these are some dark stuff.
Imagine if Pentex is like fingering the dark side of magic. Like they're just.
And I'm guessing this is the kind that you don't tell your neighbors about.
Yeah. Like they do fucking horn on the side of the head kind of shit. Like they are out there. And that's not figurative. Like that's literal. I've seen people with horns on the side of their heads.
Gotcha. So we're talking. There might be some furry folk that are very unhappy if these folks are actually around.
Yeah. Like they're the shit that I've seen puts them closer to like the progenitors, but they're not bound by like paradox or paradigms in any way, shape, or form. Like they are fucking
Yes.
out there.
So we're talking mages on the side of a van kind of shit.
I mean, like, I would rather go up against a Marauder and a Nefandi at the same time than go up against anything from Pentex.
Oh, well, tell you what, if you don't hear from me again, you know what happened.
Shit, if I don't hear from you again, I'm definitely gonna say something nice at your eulogy.
Yeah, make sure you tell my parents I died. Well, not my parents so much; they're gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know. Whoever you can reach. I'm not sure who's left alive at this point. They keep dying off every other day. It seems like. Whoever you can find for my family, let them know I died. I fought the good fight at least. Maybe don't go into details though.
I mean, yeah, I never want to go into details.
Let them know I died for the good cause, though. You know.
Yeah. Did you start going down that spirit route like I told you to get closure?
No.
All right.
I've been kind of busy. You know, they keep having me fill out this paperwork for some new bridge.
All right. Well,
I don't know why they have me doing a bridge. I mean, there's nothing. They should put a civil engineer on it, not some physics guy. But what do I know?
I mean, yeah. What do I know too? I don't know anything about bridges.
But
you want to talk music? You want to talk art? You want to talk books? Then we can talk.
I tell you what,
we get another big toke.
If I get through this, man, and I survive because of what you told me, I might have to go find me some Jamaicans to help you out, get you some good stuff.
I will let you know where I go in Little Haiti if you want.
Well, I might have to go and take a couple of weeks off on vacation. I've certainly earned it.
Yeah. Well, you know, Pentex is bad. Don't do anything crazy. Keep your head on a swivel. And
worst case scenario, you might, watch the news. Who knows?
Oh, man,
there's a lot of weird. There's been a lot of weird
propaganda.
Well, there's been a lot of weird stuff in the last 10 years. I mean, did that one building blow up? A hotel or something?
Yeah, that fucked up place. That was before I got here.
I don't even remember what happened after that. There's just a lot of craziness, man.
It went boom.
Ugh. I was in Okeechobee then, but sheesh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks, man. You keep safe and reach out to my family if I don't make it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try. Sure. Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll have to commune with the spirits to find him.
Shit. I'm going to need more of this then if I'm going to be doing that.
Yeah. Get you the good stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And you hear him start to sing along with the record as he hangs up the phone.
Yeah. Don't worry, man. Don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
He hangs up. And as he does, you
fucking hell. What the hell?
You look up, and in the window you see your reflection, and then you see sitting in your chair, in your recliner, which I would assume that you would have. You see just that long cloak that would be billowing blackness, but it's just still.
Are you still stalking me?
The hood is forward, the head tilts slightly towards you, and you just see the bottom of that bony jaw.
Damn it. I gotta get out of here. So I immediately turn and race to the door because I am not dealing with this guy today.
And just like in Scrooge, all you see is just like the bony hand come up with the finger pointing in your direction, and then you just fucking take off.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with this.
No. So where are you heading?
I am running down the stairs now. I'm out the door. I hopefully lock the door behind me.
Sure.
And I'm running down the staircase in my building out to the curb. And I'm just going to start running until I can get away to find a cab.
Okay.
I do, of course, have some stones in my pocket and my athame.
Yeah.
I at least recognize that much.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to a point where you're like maybe 3 blocks down. You start to catch your breath, and you can see that there is a cab that's just letting somebody out.
Oh, good. Yeah. Hey, right here. I'm going down. I'm going downtown towards the beach. Toward in that, I think it's that direction. I start describing the location of where I need to go, the exit ramp and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Make
and
it snappy, and I'll tip extra because I got some stuff behind me I don't want to deal with.
I mean, yeah, man, I'll see what I can do. And he resets the timer and drives off. You see him call it in. He's like, yeah, I got a random pickup on the corner of whatever and whatever. Heading to downtown now. And the dispatcher's like, all right, logged. And you drive off. Where do we find Devin the next evening?
I mean, well, after he got his rental,
Yeah,
it's a Pontiac E-Spirit. Yes, folks, it's the same one that was in the show Rock Profile. Yes, I'm sure it was all on, but yeah, but he has that. That's just his rental. He finished talking to his contacts about Pentex. He's just going over his notes that was given to him, and he's heading out. I mean, he's grabbing his 1911.
okay.
And his holster for it because he's not gonna go down there unarmed.
Yeah.
Bad idea. So he's gonna get in his car and he's heading down towards where the meeting is.
Nice.
After he locks up, of course.
Okay. So Devin has the essence pattern. So how do you see his avatar?
How do I see my avatar? I see him as he's about maybe like 5'8", 5'9", a little bit taller than Devin. He's wearing maybe like a suit of maybe.
To the person to him.
Yeah, it's a person to him. Yeah.
Okay. What are you thinking? Is it somebody from his past? Is it an echo from someone down the line? Is Devin the first one in his family to awaken?
Yeah, Devin's is the first one to awaken his abilities.
Okay. Did he grow up with any stories? Anything that might have cemented an image for him?
Yeah, I mean, when he was growing up, his dad or his mom, either one, depending on the night, used to read to him like stories like Encyclopedia Brown, some little stuff like. But that's like most of the main one. Main one is mostly Encyclopedia Brown.
Okay. So, do you think that he has an image of what is a traditional detective from like the old movies? Like, is it a black and white kind of old trench coat and fedora?
Yeah, it's like an old trench coat.
Smoker.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see this kind of Cary Grant detective character just sitting in the middle of your couch and you're done talking to your contact and finding out things about Pentex. And he takes a long drag from his cigarette that almost never seems to end. And he lets out this little cone of smoke that billows out and fills the room and then vanishes almost as instantly. And he looks over at you. He's like, "This is dangerous, kid."
Yeah, I know. I have a bad feeling about this. Like he's hiding more than he's going to let on.
Oh, and you got that shadowy thing on you.
Yeah, that's been stalking me since last night.
Nothing good comes from the shadows.
Nope. I got this feeling. I think we stumbled into something big there, partner.
All right, and you see him pull out his revolver. He smiles in your direction. He spins the bullet wheel. And he's like, "I'm ready if you are." And he puts the gun back in his holster.
I'm ready. Glad to know you got my back. And he heads out. He's had to head out to go to the meeting.
Okay, and he vanishes as the door closes. So Tom and Devin will arrive just one after the other. Dante is already kind of sitting on a milk crate at the bottom of the ramp. The cab driver just kind of questions, like he raises an eyebrow as he drops you off, and he's just like, I mean, yeah, sure, if you want to be dropped off here, that's your prerogative. Devin is brought in as well. Like he parks off to the side, and as the three of you kind of walk over, as the two of you walk over to Dante, almost like kismet, from behind one of the large pillars on the overpass, you see this kind of ramshackled man. Because Abram's not clean, right? Like he's got the
No,
work on
in
him.
fact, Abram is wearing his flannel shirt has looks like it's been patched since last night. It had some tears from work. It's patched up with different strips of fabric. Looks like they could have come from shirts or dresses, just whatever patches up the holes. And despite the heat, it's down kind of ragged sleeves past his wrists. He's also covered in what looks like sweat and sawdust and dirt. Looks like he's been out working all day. He hasn't bothered to wash it off. He's just kind of come in from the whatever he was doing. Nobody really saw him show up. He was just kind of there. And that same aura is surrounding him.
Yep.
If anything, he actually looks like the work that he was doing has kind of almost brought a glow to him. Like that whole, like, I don't know. I've never experienced it because I'm a lazy, couch potato, but in the romance novels, the covers, the guys always look like they were working hard all day. So suddenly they're like,
they were
really
plowing
hot.
something.
Yeah, full of life. I'm like the Fabio of wizards.
Yeah, you're full of something too.
I am. He's not carrying any gear whatsoever other than a tool belt. He reaches into his flannel pocket and pulls out a small tin and has some hand-rolled cigarettes. Sees the other people and lights one up. Hi. I'm assuming you guys are also here for the rescue mission?
Yeah. What are you going to do with that big tool belt?
Who says that, or is that you speaking that?
No, that's me. That's me.
Oh. He straps it on right now he's just got it over his shoulder.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just plop. That's how big it is. You just got to plop it over your shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's heavy too, so it hangs down unless they keep adjusting it.
I bet.
Yeah. So are you I'm assuming you guys are here for the rescue mission?
And Dante kind of nods. Yeah.
Definitely here to rescue something.
All right. It was Redding, right? That was the name he gave?
Rearding.
Rearding?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Rearding, I understand it. These are my backup. Sorry, it looks like the other fella's kind of looking off into oblivion there. Can I have your name? And he looks over at the guy with the tie.
Yeah, I'm Tom. Tom Castrogano. I'm been asked to help with a little bit of the more technical details, if you will.
Sure. Good to meet you, Tom. And he extends his hand.
I gotta say, you look like a working kind of guy, somebody who can
He's
actually
pretty-
get stuff done.
Yeah, now that you're looking at, he's pretty well built. He's obviously a laborer or worker, athlete, maybe. He's really well built.
Somebody who definitely knows how to swing a hammer.
Yeah. Looks very robust.
That's
And
good.
when he-
We're gonna need skills like that.
And if you do you shake his hand?
I do.
The
Or at least
grip
I
is
extend.
very strong, but he kind of lightens it a little bit, almost like he didn't expect the grip at first, and then he kind of loosens it.
Yeah, that's that kung fu action.
Something
Of
like
course,
that. Yeah.
I of course sensing the nice, firm, strong, manly handshake, acknowledge instantly that this is a go-getter kind of person you want to work with.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know why I've been picked for this. I'm a carpenter. I work over at the homeless shelter on St. Andrews. But from what I hear, someone needs help. His mate's in trouble. His wife's in trouble. So
I've been doing a little research into this company, if you will, and I think it might be a good idea for me to share. But are we out in the open right now on the side of the freeway?
Yeah, you're out on the street underneath an underpass and overpass.
are you worried anybody's going to be driving by and have their window down and hear us?
I'm more worried about engine exhaust. I'm not a big fan of carbon monoxide.
So do you want me to put out the smoke?
No, you're fine. You can have all you want. Why don't we
Did you
go?
want one? I feel bad. I didn't offer. Did you want one?
No, you're okay. Let's go to the other side of this trees over here, though.
He
If we
looks
could.
at the other fellow that's there. Friend, do you want to smoke?
To Devin.
Yeah. You're pulling a me, Devin.
Yeah, I'm good.
Someone had to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, someone's got to.
So he holds out like a beaten cigarette case, and there's some hand-rolled cigarettes. Want to smoke?
No, I'm good, thanks.
No. Suit yourselves. You only live once. And he lights up and starts puffing away at a cigarette.
And yeah, Dante kind of follows you around to where Tom has suggested you step away from the street. And as you start walking off, you can hear a car driving by blasting Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. Like you just hear, my girl wants to party all the time. And it just zooms by.
Love that song. Love it.
That's how popular that is.
So, if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I found out. Apparently, we're going in for some heavy hit here. This is not going to be as easy as we thought. We're not going into Publix, guys. This is going to be rough. So,
What do you mean?
well, this is an old company who likes to dabble in what I call fringe science. They definitely do a few things that would get us in trouble, if you know what I'm saying. They were involved in the Manhattan Project. I've heard stories from my contacts, my mentor, if you will, about people with horns on the side of their head. You know,
horns on the side of their head.
yeah, they're in all sorts of bad stuff.
Yeah, I've done
Is
research.
that like werewolves or giant shark men?
No, the kind that makes werewolves and giant sharkmen shit themselves.
I'm learning all sorts of new things today.
Yeah, so I've done my research, reached out to my contacts. He mentioned the pipeline to you guys, right?
Dante
Yes.
nods.
Yes.
Well,
I've heard something about
it's there. It's not on paper. They buried it. So according to the public, that pipeline does not exist. It's not there, but it's there.
I don't think it's toxic waste, guys. I have a feeling we're going into something arcane. If we're lucky.
Is your mate there?
He nods.
Do you know where we'd find them?
They're if they'd be anywhere, they'd be at the main facility. They'd want to experiment on her as much as possible.
That sounds right from what I've heard.
That sounds
What's
like
your
a
real
plan.
name?
Dante is my real name.
So if I tell her that Dante is waiting for her, she'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's my human name.
And what's her name?
Her name is Elizabeth.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Dante, I can't promise much of anything, but if there's a way, we'll bring Elizabeth home.
All right. I can get us to the park a little bit faster than by car. I just need you all to hold hands and do not break the link.
We're
We're not gonna sing Kumbaya.
I have a quick one, if I might, guys.
Hmm?
Let's
You're
just
gonna
lay
do
it out.
Kumbaya?
No, I want to lay something out on
Oh.
the table for you guys.
Oh, lay it out on
Oh,
the table, big
go ahead.
boy.
I am a will worker. I suspect both of you are as well. And our fellow here, I suspect, is the Musk.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay if you don't. But if you do, I wanted to make sure I was open about it because we need to be prepared. I have a feeling this is not going to go quickly and off into the night.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not gonna get easy.
As long as I've got my lucky charm, I think I'll be okay. And he pulls the spike off his tool belt. And up close, it isn't so much a railroad spike, is almost like a metal stake. And at the pointed end, you can see some rust or some other long, faded, red, flaky substance.
I go ahead and I pull out a small satchel that I have tied to my belt. And I shake it for a moment to make sure it feels about right.
Yeah. Feels like there's about 6 stones in there.
And I feel down on my boot to make sure my athame is well positioned.
Yeah.
I say, okay, I'm ready. You guys ready?
So Devin
And
would.
he kind of looks at the nail for a second. What do you think about all this?
Nothing.
Fair enough. And he looks like I'm ready to go.
So Devin would pull out his 1911 behind him, check the ammo, and he will look to his left. When he figure his avatar is probably standing right there.
Yep.
He's a yep for it.
Nods.
I'd like to take a moment and
Yeah.
adjust my eyes to see the greater reality, if that's okay with you.
Sure. What are you going to use?
Honestly, I'm going to use time and space. I'm literally wanting to see the strands of reality.
Oh, that's going to be just prime. That's a prime side thing.
Okay. What do I need to roll? Just my arete?
It's your arete. It's a level 1 ability to sense threads and things like that. So it's going to be, and there's no vulgarity to it because nobody's around. So I'll say it's difficulty 4.
I have 4 successes.
Hey,
Or actually, that would be 3. I had too many dice. Sorry.
okay.
You wish it was 4 dice.
Yeah, I wish it was. I grabbed too many.
Excuse me.
So I'm going to, if it's okay, I'd like to continue that through the scene.
Yeah, you got enough successes to do that. You can see that the railroad spike is magical in some way, shape, or form. There's this aura to it. There's nothing magical about the M1911. You can't really see everyone's avatars, but you do notice that they're not part of the pattern as everyone else is. Like the bridge definitely belongs to the Tellurian. Even Dante has small threads that come loose from the Tellurian, but he's part of the tapestry. Everybody else, including yourself, like you have an outline where the tapestry stops because you can manipulate the Tellurian.
So he's using Prime Sight, looking at avatars.
No. Looking at just whether or not.
Because he mentioned
are.
the magic stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Because with the flaw that I have, I don't have an avatar.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still a mage.
Yeah. There's a tie to the spike. It's
a
different thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not necessarily paying attention specifically to avatars. I'm watching the horizon, if you will, and paying attention to my surroundings.
Yeah, you can see Dante's bringing out what looks to be a little feminine compact, and he opens it. He tells everybody to link hands, and he reaches out his. He'd probably offer it to Abram because Abram was the first one he reached out to.
Absolutely.
And as all of you hold hands and you see him just take a step and pull, everybody feels this sudden feeling like they've been pulled underwater in a swimming pool. Like you were just calmly above water, and now all of a sudden you are under the water, but you can still breathe.
Did we bend space to do this, or did we pop through another dimension?
You are technically somewhere else because you are in the near Umbra. He has stepped sideways, pulling you with him, and everything looks so different to you. There are spiders all over the bridge. There are webs all over the streets and the bridge and the columns. The cars that drive by are just these massive spiders that look to have like the humans riding on top of them. The little bit of wilderness that you can see has this vibrancy that doesn't exist on the other side. But you also notice that in here, the Dante has these massive owl wings.
Interesting.
And he unfurls them, he flaps and immediately pulls all of you up into the air. It doesn't feel like you're holding each other up at all. Like there's no need to hold each other. As long as you could hold the grip, you feel like you'll be fine. And you can see there's just this massive web as far as the city is concerned, and there's spiders going around it. There's little pockets of green that look to be at constant war with this neon blue spider web of what the Weaver is. And as you're flying towards what you imagine is the park, South Point Park, you can see that it shines with a much richer green. There's something different there, especially to Tom, who has this primal sight up. There you can see the full power of what is an unbridled node. There's just this bubbling, almost like a geyser about to blow, that's just bubbling up tasks. You can just see it sitting there. As far as the boundaries of the park, there's just tasks as far as the eye can see. It looks like such a beautiful sight that it is pretty much just the closest thing to seeing the font of creation. Like this is what birthed the galaxies, the universe. Everything is just sitting there to be used up and called upon. And you can see that there's two other forms that have the same kind of frayed threading as Dante. And when he lands, they all kind of nod. He pulls again as he steps, and he pulls you back into the real world. The font, the bubbling, the task is gone. You still know that it's there. It is still ever present, but the visual of it is gone. The vibrancy of the park is muted back to your traditional colors, and you are now standing in front of two gentlemen, one gentleman and one lady. Both of them seem to be of Caribbean descent. They have that kind of, the girl has a darker skin tone than the other gentleman. Like it's a little bit of like the gentleman has a very milk chocolatey kind of skin tone, where she has a dark chocolate, almost the same as Dante's skin tone. But they both have this feeling, whereas Dante definitely doesn't come off as an islander or as an East Coaster or even a West Coaster. Like these two have definitely grown up in the sun, have definitely grown up in the islands. Like they know the oceans to the east of where you are currently sitting, and they all kind of hold their hands up. And as he lets go, he says, "My friends, these are a couple of people that I've met and have joined their protectorate. We are the ones that kind of patrol the waters from the Keys up to West Palm. We try to keep people out of trouble, but people are going to be people. This is Victoria Calle, and that is Paolo Rincon."
Pleasure to meet you both. Pleasure to meet you both.
Abram can't respond because his eyes are still wide with childlike wonder, and this giant smile is kind of still on his face.
Yeah.
As he's looking around at everything. He's kind of starting to come down a little bit, but that little trip into wherever we just were just set off this complete sight of childlike wonder on his face.
Yeah.
Devin would say nice to meet you both, but yeah, I have a 4-point merit called Umbra of Infinity.
Mhm.
So did that affect me at all?
It didn't affect you as much as it would have Abram or Tom. Like you even if you haven't been in there, like you've had ties to the Umbra before. Growing up, you might have been able to see spirits. You might have been used to the spider webs or the spiders of the Weaver. So it's not a big explosion to you, but being in the Umbra is definitely still something that you probably haven't done by yourself.
Right, but they do recognize somebody who can see the Umbra.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be a huge awakening for me because as someone that's worldview is deeply versed in physics, he just discovered there's something on the other side of the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That was incredible.
My friend, we're going to have a talk about this when it's all said and done. There's a few things here I have to know about.
You talking to Dante?
I am talking to Dante.
Yeah. He looks at you like, are you not? I don't know how your people work, but I thought that you would have known about the Umbra already. I should have prefaced that. And
I don't know what it was
um,
called, but that was incredible. That
Hearing-
was
I know about it.
yeah, that's the near
Wow.
Umbra.
Yeah, I know about it.
It's easy to get to if you know what you're doing. It's the
I guess
dark
I don't.
Umbra. Yeah, it's a dark Umbra that you got to really be worried about. You got to have somebody that knows what they're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, but it looks like the Umbra was at peace this time, Dante.
Wow. Werewolves, sharks, evil corporation, beautiful world that exists on the. That's like 5 things that I've learned today that are really mind blowing.
Dante
Yeah.
puts his hand on your shoulder and is like, imagine what you'll learn tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's the reason I get up every morning. This world is a beautiful place.
But he points to what you imagine is the southeast, and he's like, the pipeline is down that way. You should find it right before you get to the pier. It shouldn't be too hard to find, especially for people like you. Me and the rest of the guys we'll create a diversion for you, so you don't have to deal with too much of the security detail.
What exactly do you want us to do with the pipeline? You want us to stop it, or do you want us to just spoil the land with whatever is in its contents?
I mean, it's already spoiling the land, so we would prefer it if you just destroy it entirely. I will warn you, if you're gonna go into the pipeline, do not ingest anything that is coming out of there.
I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to? I mean, I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I've fixed a toilet or two. Generally, if you destroy the piping, all the shit comes out. Wouldn't it make a better idea to just destroy the pump center? Or, I mean, I know your mate's being kept there at the research facility that's in there. Probably has something to do with one or the other. If we just shut it down and then bury it, that might be the better way to do it, rather than destroy it outright. I mean, that might cause more harm than good.
Sure. I trust you and whatever you come up with. It's just
not my strong point. Like I said, yeah. My knowledge is I fixed the toilet. So
they're prepared for people like us. I'm pretty sure they're not prepared for people like you.
Can't wait to explain to them how to properly build a fence. I could teach them how to raise a barn. Got some experience with that.
That might work.
So where your ace in the hole?
They nod.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. And you see them all pull out the same kind of little compacts, and as they step to the side, they disappear.
So, using my vision, I look in the direction that they pointed. Do I see darkening or any obvious taint, if you will?
In the direction that they pointed, you can see what looks to be some kind of black miasma. There's something on the horizon. There's something in the water. They're definitely trying to do something over there in that direction.
Well, guys, this direction over here, and I point in the same direction. I said, it gets dark from here. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Into the abyss we go.
All right. And as you start to make your way southeast to the pier, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight. So I'd like to thank all of you for being my players. I'd like to thank Shanky for running tech for us. And as I have mentioned his name once, I must mention it twice to get him out like Beetlejuice so that he can give the end of the stream speech. But Shanky, come on out.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And thank you, Ravnos Archon here. Chew will love it on Twitter. Please give him a follow on Twitter. Matter of fact, right now in our chat, I'm going to put in our friends list. Pop over to his channel, which is on Twitch, is Ravnos Archon. He runs Vampire. He runs D&D. He runs sometimes Star Wars, sometimes Legend of the Five Rings. He's a great storyteller. We love him over there. So please pop over there. Check him out. He's right there, Ravnos Archon. Give him a follow. He's a great guy. We love it. And thank you to the players. This is Zeddy's second stream ever. Good job. Good to see you in this. Of course, join us on the Discord. You know, we love having people join us on the Discord. We cast our shows from the Discord, but we also, it is his third. You're right. My bad. We also play weekly or monthly community games that aren't streamed. There's Blood on the Clock Tower. We just played one this past weekend. It's a great game. But we do weekly Zoom hangouts. It's just a great place to be. We've got a great welcoming community over there. If you want to check out our back episodes, check out the YouTube. The previous seasons, Mage Season 1 and Season 2, which is Neon Rain and Neon Tempest, they're, of course, on the YouTube there. If you want to catch some D&D, you can pop over to Haunted Chronicles or even Ishvel, because that's the other people who stream with us. They've got their D&D Chronicles up on their YouTubes. And then, of course, Chronicles of Darkness and Call of Cthulhu. It's all over it. Just seriously, if you want World of Darkness, though, check the McStabber Studios YouTube because it is full of World of Darkness, Changeling, Vampire, Werewolf, Mage, Wraith, soon Demon. We got it all over there. You want to check out the merch? Go to our merch store. We've got a merch store. You can get you some McStabber Studios merch. Haven't seen any of the Mage merch yet. We'll see if anyone comes up with good ideas for it. If you want to support the studio, of course, you can give us a subscribe here on Twitch. You can also buy us a coffee because Twitch is a pimp. They take half the money from subs. So if you don't want to do that, buy us a coffee. So you know, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. So if you want to give the players of any of the streams you see anything, you give bits or donations, that actually goes to them, not us. It's our way of giving back to the players on our show because they put a lot of time and effort into doing this kind of stuff. So I like to put that in there. I think I've covered all the main things other than the big one, the schedule. Let's see, this week, it's been a busy week. We just did our Mage Season 1 premiere Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We've got a Dead of Night game called Deliverance. It's a pre-recorded stream by Tamshu. You'll see me in it. You'll see, Ravnos Archon. Chew will love it, the storyteller, this one. He's in it. Gray, who's a big, a really great guy on their Discord, and Jaeger, who's also a great guy on their Discord. We'll all be on it, and it's a Dead of Night game, so you know it's not going to end well for us. It never does. And then, of course, we have no stream Saturday this week, but Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Windy City After Dark, Season 5 summary, told in character by your boy Twitch, which means it won't be me doing it. It's going to be your boy Twitch, who's just me. I'm just saying. And then, of course, join us again Tuesday, right here, 8 p.m. Eastern, for episode 2 of Neon Squall. And yeah, it's going to get it. And then, oh yes, I'm forgetting Tamshu. That's right. He is still in his Curse of Strahd on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. He is on his episode 10, I believe now. He's almost on break. That's why I keep forgetting. I'm not used to doing schedule. That's my wife's job normally. Just letting you know. Next Wednesday, we'll announce that one on Tuesday. But next Wednesday there is a game. You'll see Rev Ben Powers there. He's got his game he's running. So
Jesus Christ, man.
Bro hunters. It's a bunch of bros and hoes. Because it's not all men. Bros and hoes being a ghost hunters. Because hey, we saw it on TV. We can make money doing that. Doesn't work that well.
So many dead PCs.
That's right.
If someone does not yell out, "Hey demons, it's your boy," you have failed.
You have failed.
So a quick note about that is it is definitely a send up of every bad ghost hunting show. I've got a lot of great applicants so far. The final casting closes tomorrow. After 5 o'clock, I'll be announcing the people that are in it. But I think given some of the people that I've had jump in on this, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And speaking of casting calls, we have 3 open as of tonight. There's a Demon the Fallen casting call, which closes on March 20th. There is a Bro Hunters, which closes tomorrow. And of course, as Zach Rule, who you just talked in chat there, he's got They Came to Get You Barbara, which is based on They Came From Beyond the Grave. And he is going to be running one. His casting call is still open until April. Wait a minute. Nope. Hang on. I'm pulling it up here. It closes on, I got to read it. It's killing me here. March 17th. So you've got till March 17th to apply to his. I'm planning to apply to that one, so I'm going to be in it. So I've got to play it. It's a zombie game and I got to get in on that shit. And as always, everybody, as we always in this stream this way, please everyone, take mental health seriously. Check in on your friends. Check in on your family, check in on loved ones, check in on those around you. And please make sure they're okay because a lot of people aren't. And sometimes all it takes is one person to listen, to let them know that somebody does want to listen and they do care, to get them off the edge. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, many of us do, myself included, please, it's okay to not be okay because mental health is health. And reach out to those around you to get the support you need. And if you can't do that, because a lot of people feel they can't, in chat, there's a list of names and numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get someone to talk with you, to help you talk you off that ledge. Because it's important that you stick around, and it's important for you to be here. And I know we have viewers that aren't in the U.S. If you're a viewer outside this country, there's a link that you can actually go to that you can plug in whatever your country of origin is, and you can actually find out right from that site what the support lines are for your country. And because, frankly, it's pretty important. We really take mental health seriously around here. And we don't care if you watch our show or not on that one. We just want you to all be good, because a lot of us aren't. And since my wife isn't here to do it, I'm going to give her outro part of it, which is, please go get your COVID shots. Get your boosters. If you haven't been vaccinated at all, dear God, please go get it. If you have, please go get your boosters. There are people on our Discords whose family members have COVID right now. And I wasn't going to call you out like that, Zeddy, but if you're willing to raise your hand on it, you can. So please take this seriously. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. We don't want to lose anybody else to COVID. And the vaccine helps. It keeps you from the hospital. Yes, it won't stop you from getting it, but odds are you will survive and you won't be in the hospital. And also, flu season. Please get your flu shot. Flu sucks, too. We don't want that either. So, that's all I want to say. I'm not a nurse like my wife is, so I don't get to really give it that nurse's impact. But I do thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you on the future streams, especially see you here next week for this one. So good night, everybody.
One more thing, Shanky.
Next time. What's up?
I want to say thank your nurses and your doctors. Please. They're stressed out and overworked. Please thank them. I want to give a special shout out. I don't know if they're here. I know one is Mama McStabber for being the meanest, nicest nurse we ever had in Discord, and Timberbrand.
Yep. And Timberbrad's our other nurse that is on the Discord. He's not here tonight. He works and he can't normally stay up this late, but he's a trooper who plays in Windy City with us. So I do thank you all. And yes, thank your nurses and your doctors and your medical professionals in your life and that you know. So good night, everybody.